Cardfighters, Team Deus here. I'm Ethan, and my friend behind the camera, Brandon.
Sup?
Today, I'm bringing you Victor 2.0. I apologize it took so long. I only got the final cards today. Took a while. No, this deck is strong. After Galaxy, it was like King of the Mountain.
The whole set.
It's still King of Nova Grapplers, and probably, yeah, I love this deck. It's just... Let's get into it before I get it carried away. So for the starter, I run Carbotron. The other option is Rune Bowl. Some people still do that, I've seen, but I think Carbotron's the best one.
People do run Victed.
And they do run Victed as well. Yes, good point. But I still think Carbotron's the best one. That's just my opinion. You don't have to do it. But his skill is CB1 put into Soul. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rearguards, stand it, and it gets 2k. So you can put it anywhere. You can leave it behind the Vanguard, and on the Vanguard swing, stand another unit. It's, you know, it's just a good starter. You don't really minus a hell of a lot if it gets nuked off by some starters that can do it. But it's just, for that first turn combo, so sweet. Anyway, on to grade 3s. 4 copies of the powerful Zubat Battler Victor. Oh yeah, oh yeah. This card was just, he fixed the he sort of fixed the resource game that this deck was having. It's what can I can sing its praise, but yeah, its first skill is auto CB1. When you G unit stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, call it to rearguard, choose one of your units, so he can choose himself. And it gets the skill once per turn. When this unit attacks, choose one of your other rearguards and stand it. It's really good because it gives you that extra card for the chance that you might get a key piece. And if you can make a play where you can, you know, call a rearguard and make it stand 2 units, or you can give it to him and on attack stand a unit. It's just so good. And then the second skill is at the end of your turn, if the number of face-up cards in your damage zone is 1 or less, countercharge 1. If the number of cards in your soul is 1 or less, soul charge 1. And if you countercharged and soul charged, you can draw a card. So this does happen. The second skill does happen at least once a game, sometimes twice. And it just fixes and prepares you for the next turn where you can start making all those awesome plays again. Yep. So on to second grade 3, I run 2 copies of Excessive Battler Victor. I do toss up with the Extreme Battler Victor, just personally, but I think he's better just in terms of it's another rearguard you can put onto the field, stand it multiple times, spread power across the front row. For those of you that don't know, his first skill is Rush GB2. When this unit stands due to the effect of your card, all of the units in your front row get 2k, so really nice rearguard skill. And his on-stride skill is when this unit attacks once per turn, Soul Blast 1, choose a unit with Rush and stand the column. So if you do ride him, it's not the end of the world, but it's not nearly as awesome and game-ending as Zubat. Okay, moving on to grade 2s. I play 4 copies of Extreme Battler Golsachi. His main skill, which is he's not G-Reg, which is really nice, so you can use it the turn you hit Zubat without striding, is if you have a Vanguard with Victor, this unit gets resist, and once per turn, when this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of the other rearguards and stand it. So it's really kind of, you know, you haven't stridden yet, but you can still restand stuff and have an early game rush turn. It's so nice. And its second skill is Rush GB2. When this unit stands, it gets 7k, but that's only once per turn. So unfortunately, it's not a epically resistful Sazandra or Sever Temper, but it's just really, really nice. 4 copies. He's your main restander. It's great. Next, I play 3 copies of Extreme Battler Ninjard. He's your other grade 2 restander, whose skill is when this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Victor in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rear guards, and that unit and this unit get 2k until the end of turn for each face-up card in your G-zone. So the later in the game you go, the stronger this unit gets. So if you got 4 face-up, he gets 8k, the stilled unit gets 8k, and given that most of the rear guards you're going to stand get power from restanding, it's just ridiculous numbers. So yeah, play 3 him, so it's a total of 7 restanding grade 2s that restand stuff. It's great. Awesome. Amazing balls. Next, I run, out of personal preference, 1 Severed Temper and 4 Cazander. Severed Temper, in a lot of arguments, is better, but just on a personal preference, I just prefer Cazander. It's sort of almost nostalgic, going way back to the OG set of G. So in total, you sort of want 4, 5, maybe 6 of these. His Cazander's skill is when this unit stands due to an effect from one of your cards, that includes stand triggers if you play them, is this unit gets 5k to the end of that battle, but the actual ruling, the official ruling, is he retains that 5k for the turn. So
it's not a ruling, it's just an errata. They made a mistake when printing the card.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just awesome. And then the difference that he makes is he has Rush. So G2 Rush, same skill. And his second skill is G1. When your draft check reveals a grade 3, you can choose an opponent's rear guard with equal to or less power to this unit and retire it. So you can run 4 of these. I just personally prefer Cazander.
Doesn't make a huge difference.
Nah. On to grade 1s, I play 3 copies of Extreme Battler Jerahawk. I love this card. It's a 7k Carbotron, and you get to draw a card and when you use his skill, essentially. So, skill CB1 put into the soul. At the end of the battle, that this unit boosted a rear guard. So you can't boost it behind the Vanguard, but it has to be a rear guard. If you have a Vanguard with Richter in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, stand the boosted unit, and it gets 2k until the end of turn. It helps with the draw, so you can call this from hand, draw later, so you don't suffer much. Keeps your stand columns going. If you stand Cazander, then Cazander will get 7k, 2k from him, 5k from himself. Builds the soul, you know, it's just... I love this card. I may pump it up to 4, but I love this. It's just too good not to run it at least 3. Next, I run 4 copies of Extreme Battler Gunsdon? Yeah. He essentially makes his deck so good against Kagero and stuff. And anti-denial, it's got rest this unit, GB1, rest this unit, every unit on your board gains resist. So really it's just those multi-targeting ones. Aside from that, it's almost immune to everything. And second skill is when this unit stands due to the effect of your card, this unit gets 4k until the end turn for each face-up card in your G-zone. So you throw this behind the Vanguard or something, rest it, give the field resist, when it restands you can get... So it's just ridiculous how much power this card can get, especially on Favourite Champ. Favourite Champ stands the whole board and then you got like a 27k boost every time. It's crazy. So yeah, 4 of him. If I bump up Jerahawk to 4, I'll be cutting him down to 3. It's just too good. It's too good not to run. Next I run 4 copies of Lady Cyclone. I prefer Lady Cyclone over the new one. I think counterblasting to draw a card when you perfect guard is a bit much. I'd rather have those counterblasts available to do restanding combos the next turn.
I think the point of it is to rush towards Zubat's, what's it called? Skill. So it's another, like, counterblast you can
that's
use
that's the point of it, but you know, use enough anyway. This this chick, especially after the first stride turn, just says, you've used Zubat, here's more CB, here's more combos and stuff you can pull off next turn. And it's just, I personally prefer this over the other one. Oh, my fingers are cold. And then I play, especially because you're only running 6th grade, I'm only running 6th grade 3s, play 4 copies of Extreme Battler Arashid. Generic stride fodder. No specialties, no names, no eradicators or anything. It's just choose a grade from your hand, reveal it, search for a Victor. He's good for correcting if you have excessive to get into Zubat, and he's a grade 3 in hand when striding. So, yeah, for that. On to triggers. I play 4 Arago Blau Energy. He's, what can I say? He's the Tara clone. Everyone's got one. It's the best heal trigger at the moment. So, yeah. Next, I run 6 draws. I run 4 copies of the Blau draw, which is the Margle clone. Nothing else to be said about that. And then I run 2 Mega Hammer Lady. Doesn't matter what the other draws are. Just drawing in this deck is so important. And with the other drawing you can do and the draw triggers, you can get massive hands. Some games you have OTT moments and it draws into all of your key pieces. You can get massive combos simply by just having draws in there. It is just, yeah, draw for days. Next I run 6 crits. I run 4 copies of Sa Blau Glands. Yeah. The skill is Counterblast 1, put into the soul. Choose up to 2 cards in total from your circles and damage zone and turn them face up. So if you're playing against Link Joker, specifically Chaos, or Star Vaders in there, whatever, you can use this skill to unlock 2 units, and if you're playing against anything else, you can essentially just put it into the soul for a counter charge, because you're getting the counter blast for free. And then I run 2 copies of Red Lightning, just more counter charge, more soul. You know. The resources in this deck are awesome now. And yeah, so 6 crits. That's the main deck done. Moving on to the stride zone, I run 1 singular copy of Winning Champ Victor. I love this card. This card was one of the cards that saved Nova Grapplers. Nova Grapplers didn't really have a strong first stride, and this just came along and was like, hello. Its skill is Soul Blast 1, choose a face down card from your G zone, turn it face up, so anything. When you rear guard stand, you may pay the cost. If you do that unit and this unit, get 5k till the end of turn. So, like, need I say more? Every time, the first combo, you have as much resource as you're going to have. If you can get 3 restands off, he gets 15k, each restand gets 5k, you're now currently at G4, and you can rush so hard into Favourite Champ and into the G8, it is ridiculous. His artwork is amazing. His second skill just rewards you for doing all of this. His second skill is Auto G3. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards with the lowest attack and retire it. So it's a bit restricted on the retire, but you know, it's just more drawing, more advantage, more power. Some people run 2, but really you only need 1. But I love this card. This card made this deck amazing. Next, I run 1 copy of Favourite Champ, who's as I said in the last one, he's the big bad boss. You primarily use him to get him. So once you get him off, he's so worth it. He costs a lot, but he's so worth it, especially now with the new support. His skill is GB2, CB2, choose a card from your hand and discard it. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to the same number of rear guards as the number of face-up cards in your G-zone and stand them. If you stood 3 or more cards, choose 3 cards from your hand, discard them. If you discarded 3 cards, counter charge 1 and stand this unit. that counter charge helps so much with this combo. If you only have 2 face up and you just swing in and you only use your skill, you can still pay the cost twice because of that. This, if your opponent can't stop it with denial or anything because you have the guns done, giving everything else resist, this is essentially game over. This is the main aim of this deck. You hit him, you win. You fail this, you lose. Because you have no hand left, no resources left, so... He's slightly better than a ZR in terms of if you fail, you still have a G-Zone. Otherwise, oh my god. Into the rest of the Stride Zone, which some people may disagree with, I run 4 copies of Meteor Kaiser Victor. Mainly because if I have found myself in a situation where I didn't have the hand size or as much resources as I wanted for favourite champ, and I'd go into this because he doesn't cost anything, you're guaranteed a restand, you can still use other skills. His skill, for those who don't know, is Persona Flip, or Act Persona Flip. When this unit attacks, standard unit give it 5k. If it hits, standard unit give it 5k, and G3 on attack, standard unit give it 5k. So you're guaranteed 1 restand with the potential for 2. It helps build up to favourite champ by adding more stuff to guarantee the restand, and it's a free resource attack turn, which is really necessary in this deck if you can't hit favourite after your first stride.
Why not Buster Ed?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't ask that question. Bustard, whatever. I don't like him, I really don't. He requires so much setup for 1 good turn, and I'd rather do this and keep my resources to build for the super finisher as opposed to Buster. And yeah, so 4 of those. And then I run 2 copies of Victor Plasma. I don't run 3 for that annoying combo, which is not worth it. And the main reason I run Victor Plasma is you will come across situations where it's sort of hard, mainly against Link Joker more than anything else, but you will come across situations where you just don't have the right cards in hand, nothing's going well for you, so you just do this, dude, so at the very least you can, restand. It's not reguard required, it's not anything, all you have to do is essentially BG2 because it's OG, and then, yeah, just a generic restander essentially. Next, I play 1G8, Draga. He's your other main win con, aside from favourite. He's so good. CB1, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand all of your rear guards until the end of turn. They get, when this unit rests, stand it. And this unit gets 5k for AG rear guards. So full field, he's 51k by himself. His other skill is really nice because it guarantees you, I think, like 8 attack, no more, something like that. But it essentially means all of your rear guards are going to attack 3 times. And then he comes along and he goes, hello, you can stack triggers on. It's just, yeah, by that point in the game, it would be hard for most decks to survive that, I would think. But yeah, so one of him, just too good. Next I run 1 Stark. Need I say more? In a deck that restands, you got a triple restander. You don't need him. You could very well flip him for favourite, but he's just good. Too good. So good. And then, because his deck is still entirely reliant on G, and Seabreeze still has its uses, 1 Seabreeze. Everyone knows what Seabreeze does. Seabreeze. On the G guards, I run 1 copy of Meteor Kaiser Gundreed. You don't you wouldn't use him often. He does help you get to the G8 if that's your goal for the game. His skill is flip a G Guardian. When this unit is placed on guard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Vanguards and he gets, until the end of turn he gets a skill. At the end of the battle, if the attack didn't hit, countercharge 1. So if he's especially good if you're stuck on excessive and you can't get the Zubat resources off, you can just keep, you know, building your resources and stuff. I rarely go into him, but he's there because I know if I take him out, I'll want to use him. Next, I run one copy of Unior, however you want to pronounce it, I don't know.
Said Unwa last time.
Unior. It looks French.
Unior. It's based on the word union.
So his skill is when this unit is the ultimate resource G-Guard, essentially, if you're down in the docks. His skill is when this unit is placed in guard circle, if you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, counter charge 2, and he gets 5k. Same with the soul, if you have no soul, counter soul charge 2, gets plus 5k. So if you have no resources, and mainly if you're on excessive and you have no resources whatsoever, pop him down, you get a 25k shield, and you can reset a bit and have more room to move. If you're on Zubat, he's kind of useless, in which case Gundreed flips him. Moving on to the final G-Guardian, 3 copies of Meteokaza, Dog and Titan. Thank you. He's a 25k shield. If the number of free cards you have is less than your opponent's, he gets plus 10k, which especially in the meta he was released in, wasn't hard to do. And his second skill is Act G-Zone, Soul Blast 1, turn this card face down, so you can use him later. Choose a card on your circle or your damage zone and turn it face up. So again, if you're playing Link Joker, you can unlock a unit on your board, unlock a space for the critical trigger to unlock more units. If you're not playing that, that's just more resources for you to use. So you'll often flip at least one of him up with Favorite Champ, and he's very good if you're like one counterblast away from having a really good winning champ still. Use him, put him face down. He really helps in the resource game, and he's really good defensively, and it's just 3, 3, 3. Let's go. Anyways, that's the end for this deck profile. Thank you for being patient or impatient on waiting for it. I can't really say much more than it's just the pinnacle of what Nova Grappler is at the moment, and it's just so strong and it's so good, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the profile, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.